So this is Ricochet, and I think he's got now it's 14 or 15 rides now. Those haven't been consecutive. I think the most I've ever gotten him rid was 5 times in a row. But due to weather and my traveling, but I've got him where I can just saddle him and get on. Thought I might explain a few of the things that I kind of am trying to do with my young horses, and the ideas of starting hackamore horses. Used to be I'd get my horses a lot broker in the face, so to speak, and I don't want to do too much of that. I want him to follow the feels of the hackamore, stay in between the reins, and follow my body. And so that's the big thing that I really am working on now. I can't drag tarps off of him or juggle chainsaws or anything like that. But he's starting to feel, the changes in my body, and I'm starting to be able to push his body a little bit. What I'm trying to do is push from behind through the horse until it kind of reaches into my hands and into the hackamore, and then have that cause the release, have him release to that balance point. And so finding that balance point and working through. Never a steady pull or even a pull at all if I can avoid it. You have to be able to take their heads away a little bit in this beginning phase, just because sometimes they'll have a reaction to something, but we try to avoid that reaction as much as possible. So as I get on here, and I'm just starting, we haven't really done anything yet. I'm just kind of moving around and getting the suppleness and trying to feel, for some soft spots in him, create some soft spots. So right here, as I round my back, I'll give him a little bit of a push with my inside leg and start creating the shape of his body. All I need from my hands is that they're just catching the energy and not allowing it to go forward as much, and starting to get it to work in the laterals. I don't try to get too much of this right now, but enough that I can shape the horse, in the time. Real important that we give the horse time to figure out the change. And so really trying to get him to follow. So when I drop into that right sit bone or the inside sit bone a little bit, I'll drop in and then I come back out of it, back to level, back to neutral, and just follow from one rein to the other a little bit, always releasing, always relaxing in between those steps. And I want to do that to relax in between those steps so that he doesn't get worried about that staying with me. If I go too hard or too much, he's going to start trying to push through my walls. And so in this time, I want to make sure that he doesn't have feel a need to escape or push through my walls. So when I change my balance there, if I stop riding, I'm just going to tell him, hey, come back. Switch my presence, so when I want to go, my front opens up, my back engages to go forward. When I want to go stop, get heavier, then my back opens up and I come in and push with the front of my legs for backing a little bit. And all I want is just that rock. It's not that big of a deal. If I get him feeling this pretty well, things should generally turn out okay. Now he feels pretty good here, so we're going to go ahead and go around a little bit. I try to stay real soft at first, letting him find his balance, me getting my balance on him too. I really tried to rate him too much at this point. You know, if he wants to go a little bit, I'm cool with that. Just as long as he's not falling in too much. I kind of like him to just feel like he can roll around here pretty smooth. Try to keep him, avoid him from falling into the corners too much. And that's where that same little bit of lateral inside rein pushing away helps. Plus I try to keep my body from falling in. He'll kind of tell me when he's had enough, and then I'll ask for a stop. My body first, then I'll follow through with a little bit of rein, you know, just kind of jiggling back and forth if I need it. Those transitions felt pretty good. Got a bit of a hole over here in my arena. You know, kind of when I brighten myself up, he brightens up with me. I'm going to try him a little bit more this way. So, as I go, I work a lot on changing my body, getting the horse to kind of follow that change, right? And so it's always body first, giving him an opportunity, right? So if I come up, and back down, relax a little bit. You always find one side is a little more tough for the horse to lope in or whatever, and all I try to do is keep them pretty level in the shoulders as much as I can. Help them through, help them find their balance, but don't hang on them. They got to figure it out a lot on their own, as long as I can keep myself out of the way. I use my air, I release my air down, and so those are the things I'm looking for at this time, you know, so where the horse is kind of listening for my body to change, following, being pretty light, being free moving, right? I could get, you know, a lot more. In the old days, I'd be branding on one this many days, but I want to build a really strong foundation of balance. And so that takes the horse getting enough time to really figure it out, you know, looking for the shifts of weight, trying to find the middle again, right? And so that's a big part of using balance, is that the horse starts seeking out your neutral or center balance. That I'm pushing energy from behind and just catching it in front, not pulling it from the front to the back. And so these things, they take a little bit longer in the beginning, but they really make a huge difference as we go on. So little things. There we go. I'm just asking the horse with these pushes, I'm pushing him in his body a little bit into a rein, and then trying to talk to him by just moving my fingers into releasing to the balance of that, giving me a change. I want to make sure that when I change or engage my hand or engage my body, that the horse goes ahead and gives me something, you know. Don't go, well, it's okay to move my hand or my body and not have anything happen. If it doesn't happen, I'm going to slow it back down until it does. And then I'm going to tell them, yep, that's what I was looking for. And so these are what I'm looking for at a horse with, 15 days. Mostly that I want him feeling pretty good. He'll come into me, allow me to shape him up, right? And so if I kind of ask him a little bit and I change my body, and then I'll just kind of start working my hands a little bit and say, hey, come on now. There we go. Good. I want that to become really set in his mind so that, that's a good thing. To come into me, let me shape him, becomes a real relaxed and a good option for him. So it's not a lot, I'm not asking for a ton from him. I'll set him up every once in a while, say, here, figure it out. There's a place to stop. I want you to figure out where the fence is. A cow horse kind of needs to be able to go to a fence and come off of it. And so, that little bit of a movement here, I'll let that set him up and let him find his own way out. I don't do it real hard at first or double him up, but I'll use the fence a little bit to say, okay, come on through. And you can see that can get him pretty excited a little bit. So, all right, okay. I'm back down, nice and relaxed. So, those are a little bit of the stuff that I'm doing, with the horse at about 15 days. He just barely has a backup on him, and mostly it's about I want him to rock back, but I don't want him to be looking for backwards right now too much. Forward is more important to me. I want him to be kind of relaxed and comfortable with me. Just kind of keep it fun, so I keep it pretty light, I don't ride him more than, say 20, 30 minutes, and we'll just develop him up. He's starting to get stronger, be able to maintain a little bit, and I start to ask him to keep himself together a little bit, so when I go, I'm going to push him up to the hackamore a little bit, and just moments of him finding the right balance, right? And so as I do this, I just go from side to side. If I feel kind of a dead spot in there, I'll just move it from one side to the other and have him looking for that floaty place, that place of balance where the hackamore is just hanging off his nose. And as they go along, this gets to be, you can maintain it a lot longer. Now, if I change my seat at all, if I slowed my seat down, then I want him to do that too. If I speed my seat up, I want him to do that and also keep finding that balance. So here, as I slow down, now as I come up, I'm going to push him to the hackamore, to the nose bend. So he's learning to relax into my hands, relax into the hackamore, relax into the balance. If I can get that going, yeah, it's definitely going to, keep him progressing the way I want him to. And slowly we'll start adding more things, swinging a rope, things like that. Things I used to think were real important. Now I don't feel like they are. When I get this going, I can get a lot more done in the long run. Just if I have a lot more, comfort from the horse, and he's going to be a lot more willing. He's more of a partner. So anyway, that's 15 days. Hope everybody's having a good one.